Okay. And so we'll, okay. With this, do my best to keep my eye on letting people in. But with this, kind of as letting people in, more people are joining in. Just kind of how it's going to be is there will be a little bit of an overview, us talking about some of the common asked questions, but I do see a lot of people are muted. And the main thing is this kind of talking about is more of a Q&A. So we'll do some of the common questions, but then also kind of opening the floor to anyone who's considering hosting an event or anything like that, and considering you guys asking questions that you may have or things that may be on your mind. As you know, we have some of the board members, some of our team here that you guys can bounce off anything. So it can range from, you know, stuff about hosting an event, stuff about where the cards are going, you know, anything like that. Just trying to make sure that this is a way for people who are making the cards to have a direct connection to us, and we can give you some more feedback in terms of the impact that your cards are having. You know, because it's all kinds of, it is beneficial to see the pictures on social media and hear about that, but we want to make sure that you can hear from us directly as about the impact of those cards. So first thing, before, while we're getting waited, so everyone can see my shirt here. Let me pull this down a little bit. This is something that we've been posting about, talking about a little bit, is Cards for Kids. The new shirts are now available. We have some posts on social media, so if everyone, we'll have links to it, and we make some changes, potential changes to our site, so we'll be able to link to it there. So if it is a way to get on there, if you're interested in getting some of these shirts, they in different colors, t-shirts, sweatshirts, you know, jackets, anything like that, just kind of way to show that this is the organization, the kind of thing that you're participating in, you know, a way to connect in more than one way. And first, going into not something that was, there we go, link in the chat box there. Going into some of our common questions that we get. I think one we'll do right now based on the timing is about the holiday. I won't turn the camera around or here. Oh, I guess I didn't do an introduction. Sorry about that. So my name is Ike, and I'm the, Patrick, you should have said something, give me a little nudge or something, but my name is Ike, and I'm the president and founder of Cards for Kids. So that was one of the questions that was in the Instagram and Facebook timeline. But I started Cards for Kids back in 2010, and it's something, when I talk to people, I always say it was something that I accidentally did on purpose, you know? So it was something where it was at first just, you know, a couple kids from my church making cards, and I delivered them to kids at a local hospital. But over the years now, it's grown where we're now, I think just today I got an email from Intel, and they're giving their logos, you know, Google, Microsoft, like a lot of the General Motors, a lot of the big corporations, and we're getting big corporations all the way to, you know, artists in Taiwan making cards and helping us reach children, families, all kinds of seniors, people who need encouragement all around the world. Now we're up to the point where we need 16,000 cards each quarter. That's why we're consistently reaching out to more people to get more help, because now it's the point where there are groups reaching out to us asking if they can have some cards. You know, back in the day, it was always reaching out, trying to find new places where we can send cards. But these past few months and quarters, there's been new hospitals and new nonprofits reaching out saying, can they have some, and all of that. So right now we're actually currently in a spot where I was originally thinking of reaching out to a set of senior homes who we sent cards to before based on COVID-19. We sent them some cards because they've been making cards for us. They'd requested around 3,000 the prior quarter, but we have around, I think probably over 4,500 new cards that we've been sending out. I'm not sure if we'll have enough cards to reach our new partnerships as well as reaching those seniors again. So it's all about, with us, how we've been growing over the years, it's all about more, as we get more cards, have been able to expand and reach more people. So at first it was just pediatric patients. We got a whole influx of cards and we're like, you know what? Thinking of my time as a patient back in 2005, realized, you know what, we should expand to families as well, because I know what that's like. So we reached out and started adding on Ronald McDonald houses. Then got a whole bunch of influx of cards and was like, you know what, we should expand and reach out to those children who don't have families, you know, children who are in foster care and orphanages, because, you know, can't imagine what it would be like going through a difficult time without family support. So we're able to expand that way as well. So it's all about, as we're getting more cards, able to expand in different ways. So that's why I'm consistently asking for people to reach out and contribute in any way that they can. All right, so I think that was a little bit of the background there in the organization. Trying to keep my eye on the people joining in and this conversation here. So with this, I think the big thing right now is holiday cards. That's what a lot of people are surprising already. You know, people reaching out in August and September thinking about the holidays already. It's like, you know, I'm still wearing shorts right now and people are talking about making Christmas cards. It's like, wow, already? But that's posting and talking to some groups, and, you know, for me with the business mindset, always thinking about supply and demand. Won't show you what my living room looks like right now, because this is where all the card counting and card sorting happenings, and I like to pretend that it's clean, you know, so I always clean it up before the volunteers get here. But in here right now, there's a huge bag, probably about 100 cards. No, way more than that. Way more than that. Probably like 300 holiday cards that are sitting in here. And then in the closet over in the guest room, there's probably like 3,000 holiday cards that have come from last year. And the big thing is these holiday cards, the reason why they're sitting in my living room and guest closet is people send those cards. We often get them on like, you know, December 20th, or, you know, they're arriving mid-December, late December, you know, or let's be honest, some of them coming January, February, etc. You know, because people holding their events at this point in time, sending them to us, or holding their events at that time and then sending them to us, because people are more of the spirit then, and then us having them, and it's kind of, you know, we can't really send them and deliver them at a point. So right now, at this point in time right now, we do have enough holiday cards for all of our partnerships. So it's something where we do think of, in our opinion, it would be better if people didn't make holiday cards. One, because we do have a high influx already. And then two, because it is something where, you know, I've heard many stories from different children, or not the children themselves, but parents and different hospitals about how much the kids cherish their cards. You know, some of the parents have told me about how their kids take the cards with them to every follow-up appointment. So they'll, you know, I think for us adults, when you're getting ready to leave, it's phone, keys, wallet, mask. All right, let me go. I got everything I need. For some of these kids, they're saying about how when it's time to go to a doctor's appointments, it was grab their cards and go, you know. So it's the kind of thing where they're using these cards as their long-term encouragement, as there's something to remind them that going to the doctors is okay. And so that kind of thing of, if it's a card that says happy holidays and they have a doctor's appointment in July, not necessarily a direct fit. So it's something what we're trying to do is remind you guys is that your card is not simply this is working, you're okay right now, but your card can have a long-term impact. And that's another one of the reasons why we're trying to remind people to not simply use construction paper, but use cardstock. That's something that will last longer. It's something where, you know, construction paper, the card may fall apart or may start to, disintegrate's the first word that came to my mind, but I think you know what I mean. It may start to lose its look and not look as quality within a couple weeks or a couple days. And we do our best on this end to ship those cards out as fast as possible. But you know, not sure if those, for some of those kids who like to keep their cards and take them to every follow-up appointment, may not have as long-term impact, and they may not be able to do it for as longer time. In addition to, there's some of our partner places that we partner with, they do it in different ways. There are some who, let's say they have 40 patients. You know, there's some who may say, you know, we have 40, so we want 40 cards. You know, there's some who may say, we have 40 patients, so we want, you know, 200. So they always have some kind of cards on you know, on their file. So whenever a new child or a new senior or new family, anytime someone comes in, they'll be able to hand them a card. So it's all, that's one of the benefits of being able to have these card stocks, something that lasts a little bit longer. And those, I think, are two of our main things right now, the kind of paper and not making holiday cards, something that is a little bit more important. Let me see some of the other questions where people got them. Yeah, and then I think the other one where it was, there was a lot of questions in terms of people not providing the, well, we'll be, no need to be PC. We'll provide the, people providing the wrong answer, the incorrect answer when we were doing our poll online was best way to get notified if people receive their package. So since all of us here at Cards for Kids are volunteering our time, you know, hence one of the reasons why this meeting is set up during lunchtime. That's one of the reasons here is, you know, based on that, we aren't able to collect and look through the thousands of packages that are coming in and respond to everyone and say, yes, we received your package on this date and confirm it. You know, we'll get a lot of emails from people saying, you know, did you get my package on this date? You know, FedEx said they shipped it and dropped it off, etc. You know, so that's something that we're currently not really staffed for, because we're not really staffed, but currently unable to do. So one of the ways that we do promise to get the message out there and to let people know, because it is important with the amount of work that people are putting in there, for people to know that we've received their cards and that they are making the difference, is we have that blog post, Solemnly Swear, is that we, once we receive the cards, we'll get the cards on this end and we will post them on social media. So that's what it is we'll get the cards. We, right now with COVID-19, so with this, we're being extra cautious. You know, it seems like it's always something changing, like, oh, it can change through paper, oh, it can't, or, oh, you can use a mat, you know. But for us, since we're, you know, reaching out to seniors and children with pre-existing conditions and all kinds of people with additional details or additional circumstances, we're extra cautious on this end. So how it is, we get the cards, pick up the packages from the mailbox, and we let them sit for a little bit just to be on the safe side. And so once we get them, and then we have our volunteers come, check them, proof them, and then we'll go ahead and post them on social media on one of our sites. So what that question was saying is, if it is a way for you to get like a alert or a notification that we've received your package, the easiest way to do that is if you were to include your Instagram or Twitter handle. So with those, we'll go ahead and post those. And if you include one of those handles, you'll be alerted through those social media channels. So it is the kind of thing, if you just included your name and your address, like we'll post it on Facebook as well. But with Facebook, it's not really going to give you an alert. But with Instagram and Twitter, if someone mentions you or uses your handle, then you'll get an alert. So that's one of the ways that if you needed or desired a notification that your package was received within a certain time, that's one of the ways that it can be received. And the other benefit of that is you'll see like this week, how we have it is we get the cards, work with our volunteers to check them, proof them, and then take those pictures, post them on social media. And then you can also get an idea of where those cards were sent, because you'll see those posting all those pictures, and then we won't post our little quick update pictures, which will be someone posing with the packages or something like that with the other packages that show where those cards were sent. So you'll be able to see, here's your card was received, and then you'll be able to see this is where it went out to. That's kind of our way of trying to have people have an idea of where their cards were shipped to as well. So then, we got a message, first message from Laura and team. Our family is new to volunteering for you. What are some of your most favorite card messages just to get us inspired? So let me do, there's a lot of them. I think one thing that's been interesting to me is it used to be, let's see, I'm gonna do it to everyone, but it used to be Minion was far and away, but now it's like a little bit of a debate between Minion and Melon. So it used to be your one in a Minion was the top card, but now it's like you're one in a melon, and people making watermelons. So that's like you're one in a Minion or you're one in a melon. So that's one that's always switching, going back and forth. So I don't know between that one. And here are, actually have them sitting right next to me, some of the top cards. One here that was a little bit inspirational, like this Black Panther, be your own hero. And they drew on the inside, it says, because you hold the strength of the world on here. Then that one doesn't really have just a strict message. I think it's, for these, they're all about trying to align the image. Okay, here's a good one. So Kiwi Be Friends, doing a little bit of trying to take the picture and aligning it with the overall message on there. And I did include the link of a blog post that's all about providing ideas that has different kinds of messages in different languages, all about preparing people. So for some of the people who are, like you said, new to making cards, has all types of a wide array of ideas in different languages. So the big main thing is the cards can say any kind of positive messages. The thing we have to keep in consideration is that a lot of these kids, have long-lasting conditions, ranging from epilepsy like myself to, autism, cancer, anything like that. So the cards can't say things like feel better, get well soon, hang in there, nothing like that, but just more, one in a million melon, something to encourage and inspire them, make them smile. So let's see. Yes, so can it be in a different language other than English? And for that one, definitely. It was, and you'll see in the blog post that was included in this chat that has some of the other languages on there. We do need a wide variety of languages. First, just for here in the United States alone, that was, I feel like I'm, with this Cards for Kids, I'm learning about all kinds of new languages, like with our partnership with Make-A-Wish Illinois, and then our partnership with new foster homes and all of these places that we're working with have new languages. So it's nowadays it's more like, what kind of languages don't we need? Because it seems like we're carrying back more and more. So it's the big thing is if you're making them in a language other than English, if you could just notify that on the package of what it is, that would make it much easier on this end. In terms of that language, ranging from, English, Spanish, I think Kir, I don't know how to say it correctly, but Somali, any of those, Samoan, any of those, all the way to Braille, because we do need that for one of our new partnerships in Pittsburgh. So we do need cards in Braille as well. And then I'm a pre-med student, and I know you can't sign off on volunteer hours, but would you be able to provide us a letter if we asked that says we have volunteered for you? And for that, wouldn't be able to, just the thing is saying that sign off on those are, the issue for that is that we get a lot of those requests, and the big thing is our time constraints. So if you do send an email to me about that, I can, Michelle, I can connect you to our what we call each other sister nonprofits, and connect you to one where they can be able to sign those off for you. And so if you reach out, we'll be able to get you your volunteer hours signed off. Any restrictions on embellishments of cards, glitter, enamel dots, etc. Okay, so hearing, let me put that blog post up here for that addresses it. So it's, we tried to, so these are, all great questions, things that we've heard a lot. So that's why I can answer pretty much everything with the blog post, because we've written about it. So that's in terms of the embellishment. So it's on our website, and the kind of supplies that does listed on here. The big thing is not including anything that is fuzzy, like any kind of cotton or what is it, like little, trying to think of what they're, like the little round, soft, art supplies. The main thing is trying to make it so it's not, somewhere to cough on it, something where it's not going to pass infection or something like that. Because pipe cleaner is one of those. Pipe cleaner and the other more round. But so it is, those are one of the things where it's, some of our partners are more worried about based on infection control. And so that's what that whole blog post is about, is like us being worried about accepting those based on that. Like, will we accept them on, I don't know, it's a bit fuzzy. But then there's the other stuff in terms of and when you look into glitter and buttons, heard from some of our, well, let's focus on buttons, heard from one of our partners about if the buttons aren't secured onto the card well, and this is buttons and other things like that, and the child could pop them off and swallow them and it get into their, choking on them and not being able to breathe correctly, that could be a big issue there. So just making sure that if you are adding anything onto the card, that it is, 100% secure. So that's being a big thing as well. And then in terms of the glitter, something we definitely recommend is using glitter glue rather than just sprinkled glitter. So if you're using glitter glue, then that's not a problem. Okay. There. Any more questions? Let's see. Go through some. Yeah, so some of the ones that we asked, there are no size restrictions for the cards. So we do, in terms of size restrictions, it can be any size. So we just sent a huge guitar card, probably like, I'd say something probably about like 4 feet by 2 feet or something. We just sent that card. So there are mailing some huge ones out there, but if it is something where that, the answer for that one is if you have no preference for where it goes, there's no real requirement. If it is something like a more of a smaller card, then those are a little bit preferred because we can send those, anywhere. So if we are starting a partnership with Make-A-Wish, and those Make-A-Wish where we're just sending those kids a couple cards, and those are some of the children who can't get their wishes granted based on their, pre-existing condition, and, with coronavirus, these children aren't able to go to Disney World and other places where they're wanting to travel. So we're starting to, based on the amount of cards we get, being able to expand that more. But, sending them right now, Make-A-Wish provided, they're going to do it on a monthly basis, provide us a list of names. We got 300 plus this quarter or this month, and we sent them each 3 cards. So we're going to just send them, let's see, about like a envelope this size, and sending them each 3 cards. And, so if you were sent a smaller card, then they'd be able to go to those Make-A-Wish kids. But if it was a bigger card, then, you wouldn't be able to be included in that part. Let's see. Were there, Dave, did you have anything else you're wanting to add on?
Another question people typically ask is, a lot of these people, I think, are individuals, but can individuals make cards, or is it just companies or corporations that can make cards?
Yeah, that's true. That's a big one. And so we highlight on social media, and it is on our website as well, about if you look on it, for us, call individuals making cards, we call you guys independent artists. And so that's where we have gotten pretty much our #1 contributor, are independent artists, and people making cards in their free time. So it doesn't, we do, on our participants tab, we do have all the groups, corporations, Google, Microsoft, all those kind of corporations doing it. But people making cards in their free time that does work as well. So anyone from anywhere, you know, all across the globe, Karen, Australia, Carmen, Taiwan, you know, the Karen in Illinois, anyone can make cards from anywhere and send those in. You don't have to just be a part of a group. And it's thanks to independent donations that we're able to reach the children and families who need encouragement across the globe.
And then another question that usually goes along with that is there a card limit? Like, can I only mail cards if there are 15 in a package, or does it have to be a certain amount of cards
Yeah, so that's
made before I can ship them off?
Yeah, so that's another common question is how many cards need to be sent, and and that's one of our hashtags that we do use all the time is like a double meaning. And you'll see a lot of times we use uplifting spirits, we're adding on CFK volunteer. And then the other main one is every card counts. And with that, every card counts, double meaning is one, every card is important. So, it doesn't matter if you're sending just one card or if you're sending 1,000. Each one of those cards is important because the places that we're partnering with all promise that they'll deliver them room to room. So there's not really a minimum amount of cards that you need to send. So let's see. This letter, well, maybe we can cover this up. And Gus got this letter right here. That's probably just one card right here that this child made and sent in. So it, happens all the time where we get people just making one card, or corporations having their interns send in one or two cards. We've been getting a lot. So as people have been working remotely, a lot of individuals have been sending in just one or two cards. So that's definitely not a problem, and it's appreciated as well because, kids, seniors, et cetera, just getting one or two is something positive. And yep, the age of the kids and people receiving the cards. So our little extension, what we say is 0 to 100, AKA everyone. Just think those numbers are more fun to say, 0 to 100. And by that, it means that since we are partnering with some hospitals, not just, large renowned ones, but partnering with some hospitals that have like neonatal intensive care units, the NICU. So some of those cards may be going to families or, given to the children, but more likely impacting the parents for newborn children. So that'll be given to them. So you can say extremely young, and then you may have, cards that are going to children in foster care and all throughout that age. And then we have a lot of places who have, a couple different places who have asked that these are for, teen runaways and teens who are going through, physical and sexual abuse, and have asked us, please, these are just for, we only want cards that are for, I think they said 12 to 18. We got 2 or 3 places who have said that. We have some other places who reached out and said, we just want birthday cards, or, so I think they were like, they need 80 birthday cards for their kids with brain tumors, so we're like, we got you, we'll get you those. Those some kind of special requests from some of our partners. But then back to this question in terms of age, going up to 100 and probably 100 plus, is we do also partner with a lot of senior homes and VA hospitals as well. So we do need some of those cards that are not just for kids, but also for seniors who are needing encouragement. And what we often refer as solemn seniors, especially during this time of COVID-19. when some of them aren't able to get the visitors that they used to. So making sure that they're getting these cards to let them know someone's thinking of them and getting the encouragement they deserve. Okay. You see through I think we got the language. All right. Okay. Were there any other specific questions or overview background things that people had? So it is, yeah, thank you guys for joining. It's Cards for Kids is something that's been drastically growing, and it's as we're getting more people to join in and more cards coming in, we've been able to rapidly expand. So it's, you know, thinking about now we have 2 Ronald McDonald houses in Spain, you know, Ronald McDonald House in Brazil. The reason why? Because we got a bunch of cards in Portuguese. That's why we expanded to Brazil. Why we have those in Spain? Because we got a bunch of cards in Spanish, you know, we expanded out there. So it's, you know, how we got those in Australia is we got a big influx of cards in English, so we expanded out there. So it's all about as we're getting more and we're growing and getting more participants, we've been able to expand our reach and do more and go more global. So thank you guys for joining in. If we can continue to spread the word, because as of right now, I haven't really been able to get the donations and get the kind of stuff to be able to do the marketing. It's been all through people spreading the word and doing that word of mouth marketing. So whether it's, you know, getting some of these new shirts and wearing them and spreading the word that way, or just telling friends and starting some events, that's all been very helpful. So that's how we've been able to, you know, send out over 150,000 cards to people in 30 plus different countries. Thank you for your help. All right. Thank you guys.